Imagine you and your wife are working your ass off, bringing home two paychecks every 2 weeks, yet you feel poorer than your parents, whose father was the only one working. You're doing everything right, building your career, increasing the family income, but at the end of the month, you're left with a hole in your account. It's not just inflation or poor time management. You've fallen into the two-income trap, a sophisticated financial trap that has turned the middle class into a risk group, where any setback, from illness to being laid off, means instant ruin. In the 1970s, the typical family lived on one income. It was a safety net built into the very fabric of life. If the working father lost his job, the mother could go back to work. If someone got sick, there was always someone at home to take over care and housekeeping. Today, this safety net is gone. When both parents work, you no longer have a backup on the bench. You've laid all your cards on the table, and now, if even one of you loses a job, the entire financial structure collapses in a matter of weeks. But where does all this extra money go? It would seem that two salaries should mean twice the freedom, more travel, and more savings. But the reality is shocking. Today's two-income family has less disposable income after paying essential bills than a one-income family did 40 years ago. We don't spend it on toasters with Wi-Fi or expensive clothes, as financial gurus like to say. We spend it on the privilege of simply getting into the game. The main culprit is the battle for the zip code. To give your children a chance at a future, you need a highly rated school. To get into the district of such a school, you need to buy a house that thousands of similar two-income couples are vying for. You use your second salary not to live better, but to outbid your neighbor. As a result, housing prices in good areas have skyrocketed, swallowing up all the excess in your family budget. You work twice as hard just to ensure your children sit at the same desk you did. Now, add to that the cost of what used to be free. When no one's home, you have to pay for daycare, which in some states costs more than college. You need two cars so both can commute to work, which means double insurance, double gas, and double the risk of unexpected repairs. You're locked into a system of fixed expenses that can't be cut. You can't just stop eating out to save money, because your biggest expenses are your mortgage, taxes, daycare, and car loans. These are fixed commitments that require both salaries right now. This creates a financial fragility that takes your breath away. In the 1970s, losing one job was a problem. Today, it's a catastrophe. The modern family lives on the edge, balancing on a tightrope. Bankruptcy statistics in the U.S. reveal something alarming. Families with children and two working parents are more likely to end up in bankruptcy court than single people or retirees. We've built an economy where having a second income has become not an advantage, but a necessary condition for survival, which has deprived us of the right to make mistakes. The most insidious thing about the dual income trap is the illusion of security. You look at the total in your banking app and think, we're doing okay. But the truth is, your fixed expenses have grown proportionately. You've bought a house that only the two of you can afford. You've leased cars that require two paychecks. You've signed up for a lifestyle that allows for no downtime. You're running twice as fast, but you're standing still. And the ground beneath your feet is becoming increasingly shaky. Think about it for a second. If one of you couldn't go to work tomorrow, how many months would you last? Most American families wouldn't last even 90 days. This is the price of progress we've been forced to pay. We've traded family resilience for participation in the middle-class auction. We've become richer on paper, but much poorer in terms of real security and peace of mind. To understand how we got to this point, we need to look at what economists call lifestyle inflation, but not in the sense that's being touted on social media. It's not about lattes or streaming subscriptions. It's a structural trap. Imagine a typical couple. Let's call them Mark and Sarah. When they were starting out, they lived in a modest apartment, drove a used car, and saved money. But as soon as their incomes rose, society slapped them with the bill. The first blow is the security tax. In America, your quality of life is directly related to your address. A safe neighborhood, a crime-free environment, and most importantly, access to a quality public education are priced into real estate. When women entered the workforce en masse, families had more money. But instead of making everyone richer, this simply raised the barrier to entry. Now, to buy a house in a neighborhood where it's safe to let your children out, you need more than just one paycheck. You need two. And when everyone starts using their second paycheck to fight for the same houses, the only winner is the bank. Mark and Sarah bought their dream home, but now their mortgage is 40% of their total net income. Take away one paycheck, and the bank will foreclose on the house in 3 months. The second blow is institutional costs. In a world where both parents work, childcare is transforming from a family responsibility into a billion-dollar industry. If Sarah wants to pursue a career in law, they need to pay for daycare and after-school programs. In large U.S. cities, private daycare can cost $2,000 to $3,000 per month per child. This can consume almost a full salary after taxes. The result is a paradox. One parent works almost exclusively to pay for childcare while they work. It's a financial hamster wheel that spins faster and faster, but never gets off the ground. The third blow is the hidden taxes of logistics. A two-income family is obliged to be mobile. This means 2 cars, 2 insurance policies, double the maintenance costs, but there's also a time tax. You don't have time to cook, so you order takeout more often. You don't have time to clean, so you hire a cleaner. You don't have time to fix a faucet, so you call a plumber for $150 an hour. You delegate your life in parts because your time is now completely sold to your employer. Every minute of your life is monetized, and the irony is that you spend the money you earn to compensate for the lack of free time that would allow you to save that money. The worst thing happens when you're hit with financial shock. In the 1970s, if the primary breadwinner fell ill, a family could drastically cut expenses and survive by having the other spouse work part-time. Today, when both spouses are working full-time, there's no such safety margin. You can't work at 150%. If one of you gets seriously ill or is laid off, your income drops by 50%. But your expenses, mortgage, taxes, loans remain the same. You can't fire your daycare or stop paying for the car you need to drive to job interviews. This situation has created a new class of people, the white-collar working poor. On the outside, everything looks perfect. A manicured lawn, 2 cars in the garage, beautiful vacation photos, but underneath there's constant gnawing stress. It's living paycheck to paycheck in a gilded cage. Any economic hiccup reduces this facade to rubble. We've created a system where success requires maximum risk and failure is punishable by instant exclusion from the middle class. And here's the big secret. Financial institutions don't want you to realize the modern economy is designed to absorb any excess income. As soon as you start earning more, the cost of the essential minimum to maintain your status rises. It's an auction you can't win because the rules change every time you bid. You thought a second salary was a path to freedom, but in reality, it's become a chain that keeps you both tied to your desks more tightly than ever. Let's delve even deeper into how this trap changes the very psychology of your survival. Imagine you're standing on a treadmill. At first, it moves slowly, and you feel comfortable. Then the speed increases, and you call for help from your partner. Now you're running together, holding hands, and the treadmill speeds up even more. You think you're running toward a finish line where you'll rest, but there's no finish line. The treadmill speeds up only as fast as you can run. This is the modern housing and education market in the U.S. Education was once a social elevator. Today, it has become an exorbitantly expensive entry ticket. Parents with 2 incomes are panicking and pouring every extra $100 into tutors, private schools, and sports clubs for their children. Why? Because they see the ground rapidly disappearing under the feet of the middle class. They know that if their child doesn't get into an elite college, they risk ending up in a world where one salary isn't enough to even cover studio rent. Parents' second incomes are fueling an arms race for their children's future. You're not buying luxury. You're buying insurance against the social decline of your offspring. And herein lies the greatest injustice of the system. The U.S. tax code and the benefit structure often penalize dual-income families. When you move into a higher tax bracket due to salary pooling, you begin to pay a disproportionate share to the government. Add to this the loss of various tax deductions available to low-income families, and you see that the net benefit of having a second spouse work is much smaller than it appears on paper. Sometimes, after paying taxes, gas, office clothes, and a nanny, the net benefit from a second job is just a few dollars an hour. You're literally trading your time and the opportunity to watch your children grow up for pennies that are immediately used to maintain your status as a working professional. Now, imagine the emotional cost. When both parents are exhausted by a 40-hour and often 50-hour work week, time becomes the scarcest commodity. Chronic stress becomes the backdrop to your lives. You're no longer life partners, you're logistics managers in a family corporation. Who's going to pick up the kids? Who's going to buy groceries? When was the last time we just talked about something other than bills? The dual income trap steals more than just money. It steals intimacy. Research shows that financial disputes are the leading cause of divorce, and dual income families argue about money more often because the stakes are higher and there's less room to maneuver. We've come to believe that progress is always upward mobility. But financially, the last 40 years have been a period of great deception for the American family. We've traded sustainability for consumption and freedom for a mortgage rating. We've become hostage to a system that demands 100% commitment from both adult family members just to maintain the semblance of normalcy. It's a fragile world built on the assumption that nothing will ever go wrong. No one will quit, no one will get sick, the economy won't fall into recession. But that's not how the world works. If you feel like you're drowning, even though you're rowing with all your might alongside your partner, know that it's not your fault. You're not bad at finances. You're simply playing a game whose rules are stacked against you. You've been led to believe that 2 paychecks is your superpower. But in reality, it's become your greatest vulnerability. You've built a sandcastle using twice as much sand as your parents, but the tide is still closer than you think. The question is what to do when you realize you're trapped. How can you break this vicious cycle when the bills are already coming in and the mortgage won't pay itself? The only way to win in a system designed to devour your resources is to radically change the rules of the game within your own family. The first step to escaping the trap is accepting the bitter truth. Your current standard of living is an illusion if it depends on every penny from both salaries. To regain control, you need to learn to live on one income plus. This is a strategy in which all your basic fixed expenses, mortgage, insurance, minimum loan payments, and food are covered by the income of just one spouse. A second income should not be the foundation of your survival, but your most powerful tool for building wealth. Imagine the freedom you'll gain if you know that no matter what happens to the economy or your boss, your roof over your head is safe because a single paycheck is all it takes to pay your rent. When your second paycheck isn't used to pay last month's bills, but to aggressively pay down debt, build an annual emergency fund, and invest, the rules of the game change. You're no longer a hostage and become an investor. You're no longer forced to accept degrading working conditions or long hours because you have severance pay. But this requires radical and often unpopular decisions. Perhaps it means you don't need a 5-bedroom house in the most expensive neighborhood if it requires both spouses to work 60 hours a week. Perhaps it means that a used car bought with cash will bring you more happiness than a new luxury SUV lease that eats up half your wife's salary. True wealth isn't what you buy, but how much freedom you can afford. Many couples dread this conversation because it requires giving up social status. It's difficult to be a family that lives more modestly than their colleagues while having a similar income, but remember, those who flaunt their success are often just one missed paycheck away from bankruptcy. Living on one salary when you have 2 isn't self-denial. It's the ultimate form of financial domination over the system. Take a look at your expenses right now. Divide them into fixed and variable. If your fixed obligations exceed 50% of your total income, you're at risk. If they exceed 75%, you're trapped. Your goal is to gradually reduce this percentage without increasing your consumption as your salary rises. This is the only way to stop being a Blade Runner. The 2-income trap is powerful because it's invisible. It disguises itself as success, family well-being, the American dream. But the real dream isn't a house you can't stop paying for, but the ability to say no at any moment and spend time with those you care about, without frantically checking your bank account balance. Now you know the secret. You see the strings the system pulls, forcing you and your partner to work ever harder for things that make you weaker. Don't wait for the next crisis to test your family's strength. Start dismantling this trap today. Reduce debt, cut fixed expenses, and start valuing your freedom more than your neighbor's approval. Your second salary should work for you, not your bank or your zip code. Only then can you turn the 2-income trap into a 2-equity springboard. The choice is always yours. Continue running on the accelerating treadmill or hit the stop button and start building a life on your own terms. Now you know the truth. Use it to free yourself.